All right, good evening. I'd like to call this City Council meeting Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 to order. Tonight, Jerry, I didn't catch your last name, sir. Hennig. Jerry Hennig is going to lead us in the invocations. Sir.
Thank you. You wouldn't mind taking just a minute and bow your heads? We'll start this meeting in prayer. Dear Father, Almighty God in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Lord. In Jesus' name, we just come before you and we want to thank you for your grace. We want to thank you for the trusted leaders that are here today and the citizens and the passionate people that are here to meditate, think about, and consider all the issues at hand. Lord, we just pray that you'd fill this place with your Holy Spirit. Make us vessels of honor as people consider and talk about the issues at hand. And put a shield of protection around this meeting, around this city, and around our lives. So we give this time to you, and we praise you, and we just ask that everything that we say, do, and think will glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mayor Sarter.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hastings.
Here.
Councilmember Haney.
Here.
Councilmember Greenberg.
Here.
Councilmember Duffy.
Here.
Councilmember Melton.
Present.
Councilmember Judd.
Here.
Thank you.
So tonight we have the Ashton Ranch Middle School Student Council who's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'd please join them in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. There was 3 students that wanted to say a few words. I think it was Gabriella, is it Natalia, and Chance. So whoever wants to go first, please.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilman, and guests. My name is Gabrielle Vasquez, and I'm in 8th grade at Ashton Ranch Middle School. And it's my 2nd year in Student Council with my position of Mustang at Large. And tonight I'm just going to be telling you about what we do at our school. Our Student Council is a part of the AAJHSC, which promotes experiences for student leaders. We get to participate and learn from our leadership retreats and conventions. We also plan all the dances for our school, which includes planning, advertising, buying, and setting up, and cleaning up after the dances. Some of the other things that we do to include planning our assemblies are in First Friday games, stampeding the hall celebrations. Our assemblies recognize sports teams to pump everybody up for the seasons. We also play fun games, give out awards, and there are performances from our show choir, band, and cheer. Our Ascot Masher even makes an appearance sometimes. We plan most of the fundraisers for our school, which always go well. We help the community by participating in our District Valley View Food Bank. We had 800 cans collected. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight, and I'm passing it on to my friend Natalia.
Nice job.
Thank you, Gabby. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Natalia Estra Vargas, and I am the Student Body Historian and 8th grade class treasurer. This is my first year in Student Council, and I'll be speaking about how we got elected into Student Council and what we learned. First of all, we learn lessons in civics because students have to go through a process to be selected to run by classmates. We have to meet qualifications behaviorally and academically, get a petition signed, give a speech, and campaign. From my own experience, I had to write a speech about why I should be selected for the position and then make a campaign video. Lastly, my peers then had to vote for me to represent them. For those who run for appointed positions, they have to be voted in by the rest of the student council. Now I will introduce our student body president, my friend Chance. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Chance Ratliff, and I am the Student Body President. I'm going to talk to you about the knowledge and skills that you gain from being in Student Council. First of all, you'll learn public speaking skills. Most of us never wanted or even knew how to talk in front of adults or our peers. We say the morning announcements, give speeches, and speak at various events. Another thing that we learn is financial lessons. For example, we sell different things like boo grams during Halloween, Christmas candy cane grams, and Valentine heart grams. During those times, we need to make sure that our records and balances are accurate. Another lesson that we learn is how to conduct meetings. We use Robert's Rules of Order, take minutes, represent our classmates, and vote on various things. Ever since I joined the Student Council in 7th grade, it has been nothing but fun, learning, teamwork, and friendship. With that being said, thank you for having us, and I hope you all have a great rest of your night.
All right, well, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for coming in here. We give any students that come in a certificate, so I'm gonna ask you, because I don't know their names. So if you get the certificate, come up, we'll take a picture to kind of remember this moment. So, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, come on. We'll pass out the certificates. We have you can step up here too. Good job. This is the largest group we've had so Genevieve, you're the, or maybe Virginia. Somebody's got to put us in the right places. Can we, I gotta, yeah. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do Jasmine. Oh, there you go. Brought the whole crew. Is everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
Yeah, it's just taller than him.
yeah, we'll do the parents.
So look at the mayor's stool.
Okay, my turn.
Oh, one more.
Sorry, guys. All right.
So, just want to thank you all for being community leaders. It's not easy to step up in front of your peers at a school, especially middle school. So thank you for all that. Keep doing good things and helping our city do great things. So thank you. Oh. Yeah. So, all right. We have a proclamation. I think it's the Future Business Leaders of America. You guys want to come up, please? I'm going to do my best. Where else did you do a proclamation? How you doing? Excellent. Mayor. Good to meet you.
Me too.
Good to meet you as well. What was your name? What was your name? All right. This is my first proclamation as mayor, by the way, so this is a big deal. It is. I gotta do it. I practiced once. Okay, so from the Office of the Mayor, whereas Future Business Leaders of America is a nonprofit educational organization whose first chapter was established in Johnson City, Tennessee in 1942, and whereas Iowa became the FBLA's first state chapter in 1947, and whereas Valley Vista High School officially chartered its FBLA local chapter on September 1st, 2020, and whereas the FBLA includes more than 250,000 members and advisors and 4,600 chapters nationwide in middle schools, high schools, colleges, universities, career and technical schools, private business schools, And whereas the FBLA is a professional business organization dedicated to bringing businesses and education together in a positive working relationship through innovative leadership and career development programs. And whereas the FBLA members perform community service activities and strive to build a student's understanding of the realities of modern business, the modern business world. And whereas the FBLA teachers, middle school, high school, and college students basic business and leadership principles and assist them in the transition from school to work. Now, therefore, I, Kevin Sartor, Mayor of the City of Surprise, do hereby proclaim February 9th through February 15th, 2025 as National Future Business Leaders of America Week in the City of Surprise. Let's, yeah, come on, we'll get a picture. Okay, let's get a picture. There we go. Okay. Hold on, it gets awkward. Hold on, let's go.
Yeah, I think it's really.
Perfect. You guys are from Valley Vista?
Valley Vista.
Okay. Thanks. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys. So those of you who don't know what Future Business Leaders of America is, it's a student organization that is an affiliate of Career Technical Education. Career Technical Education in high schools, which you guys are getting ready for, is to get you ready for the workforce. And I just want to talk about really quickly about a partnership right now that we're with the City of Surprise. Yes, we are. Last year, I met with Economic Development, and they got me a partner with Ottawa University. So we moved our chapter events, our region chapter events for FBLA to Ottawa. This year, also DECA, like student organization, and HOSA also came over to the city. So this is like one of the most incredible partners we ever had. What we're doing right now is we're developing a partnership with the business report on the city between us and the City of Surprise. Because of the City of Surprise, they've given us a couple of business to go tour. We've done Uptown Alley. We learned about those pin setters, and there's $70,000 worth of machinery. We went to the water treatment plant. We found out that water is like an incredible resource in the city, and it's going to be sustained for years and years and years, thanks to those professionals over there. And if you want to work for them, I mean, they offer a really good starting salary, and in a year you get bumped up, and the next year you get bumped up, and the next year you can actually run a plant. Incredible like stuff that we learned over there. We've also been to St. Mary's one time to actually help out and teach volunteerism to these students, and we're going back again. So that report is getting authored, and we're going to give a copy. We're going to present it to the city, and we're going to present it at FBLA State and, with any luck, FBLA Nationals in California to demonstrate what a great city this is and what a great partnership this is. Behind me are just a couple of my officers and a couple of programs I run. They could run a business right now because they know how to conduct meetings, they know how to conduct budgets, they know how to teamwork, they know how to collaborate, and they're very professional, as you can see. But again, my name is CJ Martinez. Thank you for that, just a brief talk, and can't wait to see you guys at Valley Vista.
All right. Amazing. Sorry.
Nice job.
Thanks. All right, Mr. Wingenroth, City Manager report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd like to bring up and introduce Joanne Esfan, who is from our Parks and Recreation Department, who has some very important introductions to make. Good to see you, Joanne.
Thank you, Mr. Wingenroth. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Congratulations to our presenters, our pledge presenters again. That was a great group to lead us out this evening. And now I'd like to introduce our two youth council members up on the dais with us tonight. First, we have Alice Bogman. Alice is a sophomore at Willow Canyon High School.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Alice Bachman, and this is my first year on the Surprise Youth Council, as well as my first time speaking on the dais. As a new member, I've had the opportunity to grow as a leader, collaborate with my peers, and make a positive impact through volunteering and community initiatives. It's been a meaningful and rewarding experience. The Surprise Youth Council is a great opportunity for students to develop leadership skills, connect with their peers, and play an active role in shaping the future of our community. I'm excited to share that applications for new members will open Monday, February 10th and close on Friday, April 4th. From 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Cafe 60, I encourage students currently in grades 7th through 11th and their families to join us and learn more about the Surprise Youth Council and meet our current members and ask questions. We're looking forward to another year filled with meaningful service opportunities and continued growth. That's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alice. Now we'll hear from Kayla Vargas. Kayla is a sophomore at Valley Vista High School.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Kayla Vargas, and this is my second year on Surprise Youth Council and my fourth time speaking on the dais. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this meeting. Tomorrow at our monthly SYC meeting, we're excited to participate in the City Hall Challenge. This activity led by city leadership helps us develop professional communication and presentation skills while learning about budgeting and project planning. We'll work in teams to present ideas for community projects and receive valuable feedback from a panel of judges. Thank you, Mayor Sartor. Did I say it right? Okay. And council members for your time and support. We're grateful for the opportunity to learn and grow from this experience. That is all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I just, real quick, I met Alice at our Martin Luther King Day of Service. And so I think a lot of people in life talk about what they're going to do, but you actually do it. And so it was cool to see you out there. It's amazing to see you on the dais and just being engaged, and really for both of you. So thank you for your service to what you do with our city.
Great. Yeah. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of the meeting. Thanks, Mayor and Council.
Madam Clerk?
I have no report. No,
Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
No report tonight.
Okay, nothing to report. All right, so there are 4 items on the consent agenda. Would anybody like to pull an item? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, I got an amendment. Just have to pull one. There we go. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button. I just have one change on number 10, paragraph 4. It said that I asked Jody about TIFs and what they are. I knew what they were because we do them in Chicago. So I was asking if she would just explain them to the audience so they knew what they were.
That's, I think, to the minutes.
Yeah, to the minutes, sorry.
Okay. Yep.
Understood. Thank you.
All right. Hearing no other changes, I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, I move to approve the consent agenda with the changes Councilman Greenberg stated involving item 10.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Please cast your vote.
There's no item 10.
Sorry.
Item.
The minutes. Yeah, the minutes.
Oh, the minutes.
The minutes that Councilman.
The minutes.
Okay.
I can't see it.
It's a unanimous pass vote, Mayor.
All right, Madam Clerk, please read item number 5.
Item 5, consideration action pertaining to recommendation to the Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control on application number 325019, requested by Navaya Yoga Singham, Tharasingham, and I apologize if that is not how you say your name, for Native Grill and Wings for Series 12 liquor license. Native Grill and Wings is located at 13929 West Waddell Road in Surprise, 85379. And I believe that the applicant is here, Mayor.
Okay. Did the applicant want to say anything?
No, I just want to let you know I'm representing as a new managing partner for the location over here. So under the new LLC.
Okay, thanks. This is a public hearing, so I'll open the meeting for public comment. Madam Clerk, do we hear any or get any requests to speak?
I do not have any registered speakers, Mayor.
Okay, I will open it and close it.
I move to recommend approval of application number 325019 to the AZ Department of Liquor Licenses and Control.
Second. It's moved and seconded. Please cast your vote.
That's a unanimous pass vote, Mayor.
Thank you. Please read item 6.
Item 6, presentation and discussion regarding the Surprise 295 annexation, case FS 24-0623. In accordance with Arizona Revised Statutes 9471A3, a public hearing is required to be held after filing a blank petition within the last 10 days of the 30-day waiting period.
Good evening. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. The item before you is case 24-063-0623, Surprise 295, which is an annexation. So tonight is the second of 3 meetings which will be held, and this will involve the blank petition. There are 2 vacant parcels totaling 5.41 acres and is located south of the Central Arizona Project, east of Buckeye city limits, north of the future Birdsley Road alignment, and west of the future 251st Avenue alignment. So this is the existing parcel boundaries as they exist today. Purple is City of Surprise. Then you have the City of Buckeye, and then the parcels that are in Maricopa County currently. If the proposed annexation is approved, the 2 parcels will be incorporated into the City of Surprise. So the first hearing was held on January 7th. It was regarding the intention to annex. Tonight is the second meeting, and it's a public hearing for the blank petition, and it was held in the last 10 days of the 30-day waiting period. This concludes my presentation. I'm available, as well as the applicant, if there's any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll open this meeting to the public. Madam Clerk, did anybody request to speak?
There are no requested speakers, Mayor.
I'll close this meeting to the public. Councilman Greenberg.
Just out of curiosity, what are the dimensions of that lot?
I know they're 55 feet wide. Sorry, I don't have the length
Okay,
of them.
that's fine. The width
Okay.
was only what I was concerned about.
Yes.
Okay, hearing no other questions. Thank you. All right. And
Thank you.
And this is a discussion only, so there's no motion. Madam Clerk, please read item number 7.
Item 7, presentation and discussion pertaining to proposed updates to the comprehensive citywide fee schedule.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Sorry, I'm gonna put this one up. All right, so here tonight to talk about our fee schedule. Right. So tonight is not an action item, it's just for discussion. Each year staff proposes new fees. We look for cost recovery. So that is the point of these fee schedules that we're talking about. We propose them to council. Tonight here for your discussion on if you want to propose different fees, different version, but that's the discussion tonight. So what we do, so user fee. So this is different than a tax that's charged to our residents. These fees can range from our community development department to Parks and Rec. So for community development, if a developer comes in or anyone doing work on a home, they pay for a permit. That's a fee that they pay. That is contained on our comprehensive fee schedule under the business services. So for those fees, like community development in that, it's more of 100% cost recovery. As a government entity, we're never allowed to charge more than the cost that we charge, that we incur. So permits, we look more of 100% cost recovery. But on the park side of things, when we're looking at more recreation services like that, they're evaluated differently. They're subsidized. We might look for 25% cost recovery or variation of that. So just a little background, some more information about state statute and compliance. So public notice is required anytime we're going to increase those fees. So tonight, after discussion, any changes, we'll post it online. We can always reduce a fee based on discussion or feedback from council. We just can't increase it without that public notice. So it has to be out there for 60 days. And then after that 60 days, we'll make any changes or bring it back for council adoption. And that will go in effect on July 1st. There is a red line document attached to your agenda item, which shows you every change that we made. There's a lot of them on there. I'm not going to go through every one. But this is a summary of kind of what we did. Sometimes we increased the fee, sometimes we added a new fee, maybe we eliminated or reduced one, or just changed the title. So just kind of a summary of all the stuff that we did. You can see there's definitely a lot for Parks and Rec. They did a lot of changing up, especially for the new pool that's opening. It offers different programs and a 50-meter competitive pool that we didn't have before. So just a lot of changes and restructuring to a lot of those fees. They're not necessarily that we're increasing all of that. It's a combination of adding that new pool into the fee schedule. And the directors, if you have specific questions, I'll try to answer them, but all the directors that have changes here are available for any questions you may have. So a couple of new fees. So in our community development, I mentioned here, this really is looking at more at cost recovery. A minor site plan amendment. Previously, it was just a major amendment. It was more expensive. It was closer to like $1,200. So this is saying, hey, if it's just a small adjustment, it's not going to take staff as much time. We'll go ahead and just charge a smaller fee, trying to make sure we're matching that cost to the fee we're charging. In our HSCV, this is one that actually decreased. So we're adding it. It's a new fee. However, overall is actually a decrease. We're adding a dual rate. So there was a senior center and a fitness center. Both of those individuals' fees have been decreased, but now they offer a dual fee. So if you want to sign up for both of them, you don't have to pay both of the fees. It's a slight discount if you want to be a member of both of those. So it's a new fee, but it's really overall trying to make it a little bit more efficient for our members. A couple more of increased fee examples. We've got an appeals fee that we increased. Again, it's based on that amount of time it takes to handle those. We have some more recreation facility rentals. Just kind of broke down some of those that we have. Here's a couple eliminating. I mentioned fitness center and senior center. We removed the residential, non-residential split. It's just the same fee for everyone. And we did reduce them. I believe it was like $12 to $10 and $30 to closer to $10, about that. So here's a couple in the Parks and Recreation that we did reduce. We looked at some of the administrative fees for rentals and for aquatics. So there's just kind of a couple examples of where we did decrease them. More examples here, just changing some of the verbiage. If we change the verbiage, we want to post it so people can see what we're changing. Trying to clarify it, trying to add clarity, understanding so people know what they're paying. I think there was one on the city clerk. We specified if it's a public record request, we added the unit of measurement to be per page because there was misunderstanding of is that per line, per word. So sometimes it's just also clarification for our users. So with that, I know that was quick, but you have the red line. We can go in more detail if you have any questions. I mentioned the directors are here just for discussion tonight, for feedback. We'll post it online tomorrow. We can incorporate any changes if you would like some, and we come back for adoption in 60 days. So with that, any questions or comments?
Vice Mayor Haney.
Vice Mayor Haney.
Hastings.
Vice Mayor Hastings. I'm immortal.
One of these days.
Your worst fear.
Okay, so looking through, so thank you for the work. So one thing that I asked when we talked on the phone about this is whenever we have a fee schedule like that goes through, it's a lot of fees going up, and obviously that happens for a lot of reasons, right? We've had some of the craziest inflation in the last few years. There's that, and then also, could you go back to the screen that has all the departments and how many are gaining and how many are lowering? Obviously, Parks and Recreation, the new and increased fee is going to be high because we had a new park a few years ago. We have a brand new pool now. But I really want to thank the directors and you for taking the time to look through and see like what can we eliminate? I know I'm like a broken record when it comes to like trying to lower costs, but I think it's something we can always try to do. As we're going through. I mean, with everything going on, I do have a few questions about two specific fees, and the first one would be for Lloyd, and that would be about the appeals fee. So. Sorry, Laura, I'm gonna put you on the spot, but I just wanted some clarification. So most of these fees that are going up aren't super outrageous increases. And the reason why we do it, like you said, you already answered that question, is for cost recovery, right? Residents are paying for it one way or another. So are we subsidizing it, or are we asking the person who wants the service to pay it? So with that being said, the appeals fee is going up from $250 to $1,200. That's obviously a big increase. Could you talk, is the typical resident going to be paying that fee on a normal basis? Like, what type of person would be paying for that service?
Mayor, Council, Vice Mayor Hastings, it's primarily the developers that would pay that. And typically the appeal process is when a decision is made to deny something, to go to the next process. And primarily, it puts a lot of burden on our staff as well as our city attorney's office as we go through that process.
Yeah, and I like this change because I don't want people to take advantage of our appeals process, because I'm sure that I won't put you on the spot for how many staff hours you use, but I can only imagine if someone only has to pay, $250 to me for a developer, that's not a lot, and the amount of work that goes into it. So thank you, Lloyd. So developers typically pay us, and we've talked as a council, I know Councilman Judd has mentioned it, development paying for itself, right? So does that kind of follow that philosophy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome, thanks. Okay, the other question is just a clarifying one for Holly on Parks and Recreation. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna clarify something. So Lap Lane rental.
Yes, sir.
$75 for a 50. So this is not for like lap swim, correct?
No,
Like, so
this
if a
is-
resident wants to go, so how much would it cost, like roughly, if somebody wanted to go and do like lap swim for an hour, during that period of time?
So it depends on the pool
Okay.
and the age of the individual. So if you just want to go in and you're a youth, say to our new facility, it'll be $4 for a youth. We
Okay.
did add a senior fee, which we've never had, which is
Okay.
actually a reduction. So the seniors will now pay a youth price, and then an adult would be $6 at the Aquatic Center or Hollyhock. It's $2 and $3.
Okay. So one thing off that. So I would love, it would be so cool if, I remember, because I used to work at the pool, and we'd always ask, do we have veterans discounts? I know it's a slippery slope. You can give discounts for first responders and veterans and teachers, and where do you stop? But it'd be awesome to include veterans in that price bracket too. Just an idea, but I'll leave it up to you. And then I just wanted to make sure people understood that if they wanted to go swim in the new pool, it wasn't going to cost them $75 to swim in the new lap lane for an hour. That is like the rental fee, right? So if a school wants to rent the lane for an hour for their school practice, something, they would be paying that premium.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So we have, there's also a dive well fee on there. So it's not for somebody to come in, that is for a group to rent it for an hour.
And I also just want to thank everybody for, having the fee for residents so much lower than non-residents, right? And Andrea, what is the rationale behind having lower fees for residents versus like a non-resident? Are we just trying to be mean to people who don't live here? Or like, what are we doing?
I'm really cheap, and I
Yeah.
just like to
So-
charge. No, so mayor, vice mayor.
Yeah.
Yes, so vice mayor, so for our fees, some of them I mentioned, certain fees, it's 100% cost recovery. For a lot of our Parks and Rec, we're looking to subsidize some of those programs. We want to make sure it's affordable and people are able, if you want to go swim a lane and get some exercise, learn how to swim better, you don't want to pay $100. It's just not reasonable. So we base that. The residents are paying part of their taxes. When we subsidize that charge for service fee, you might be paying $4, but obviously the facility of the pool costs more. Well, taxes that we collect through sales tax, whatever mechanism, are paying for that facility as a whole. So residents are already paying for part of that facility. A non-resident pays more to try to help offset that cost because they're not
pay
living in the
taxes.
city and paying their property tax or local.
Okay, thanks. I just want to ask those questions just to clarify, because I think it matters who's paying the fees, right? Whether it's like a developer or just your average family. So thank you.
Councilman Melton?
Hi, this might be a question, but maybe you can answer. So there's under water resource management 2 new fees regarding water resource efficiency certification. Presumably, this is a certification issued by the city or by the department. And so, is this a new fee, or is this just a new certification? And so we're now adding that fee to it.
I called in for
There
help.
you go. Because Mike's in the back.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Councilman Melton. Yeah, so this is the Qualified Water Efficient Landscaper Certification Program. And so the 2 fees are a new fee and a renewal fee. And really, it's just cost recovery for the membership that we have to pay on an annual basis to the certifying agency. So it just really covers our cost to be the certifying agent.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Easy. Okay.
Well, for him, it was easy.
Sure. I just had a question about, like, what's the computation? How do you calculate how much fees? Is it based on, well, I'll just let you explain.
Yeah, kind of how we come up with our fee. I think we touched a little bit on it. We'll look at resident, not resident. Who's paying it? So that's a big driver. We talked about who's paying it. Is this a resident paying it? Is it developer paying it? Is a non-resident paying it? So we'll consider that we do calculate what is the cost. We usually focus on the direct cost. So we don't consider that there's a director in charge of the department or lease of a building. It's really that cost, more of a direct cost of what specifically that program. Say it's a teacher that runs that program. How much does that teacher cost? So we focus that and we say maybe it's 25%, maybe it's 50. Like it depends on the program because we want to cover the cost. We also want to consider who's Is it youth? Is it seniors? Is it adults? We also want to consider, is it affordable? We want to make sure, is it something that's physical activity? Is it safety? We want to make sure our residents can access it and have affordable. So we consider benchmarks too to other cities. We'll look at, well, what do other cities charge? Because we don't want to be completely out of line with that. That's not the only basis for it, but it's a consideration. So we look at all of those factors to say we want to make sure our residents have access to it. We want to make sure that we're balancing it to be fair because taxes do help pay for some of it. So ensuring those people using those services are paying their fair share for that service. A lot of times if it benefits a lot of people, a lot of residents, the fee will be lower or non-existent. If it's a very specific group, then maybe that fee is a little bit higher because it's only certain people that are asking to come to that class. So really try to consider all of that and base that on that.
Okay, thank you. So any other questions? I appreciate it.
Okay, so it's posting online. Is there any changes or adjustments, or we post it and we'll come back for adoption? All right, well, thank you. We'll have that online. I'll see you in 60 days.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
I'll open this, I'll now conduct a call to the public. Chrissy, we have your request to speak to this council on a non-agenda item.
Yes, sir. Alex Christ.
Good evening. If I may ask real quick, how come we weren't able to comment on these fees?
It was a non-public hearing.
Can you explain why that was a non-public hearing?
I'll have to ask the attorney. It's just not required.
Would you require to have residents come and say what they need to say about fees at a later time?
No, if you want to say something about it, we'll give you some time.
It'll be called to the public.
Well, I mean,
I'll bring that up at a later time.
Well, I don't want to, if you had something to say for that specific thing, you can.
That wasn't what I was going to talk about today, but these fees, some of these fees are increasing. So I also wanted to bring out that if some of these fees for seniors and low income, if they could be waived or lowered at some point. So that was going to be my only comment. Okay. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilman, I want to thank Councilman Duffy for Saturday's meet and greet at the stadium. It was great to have there, and I appreciate Vice Mayor and Councilman Judd there as well. And of course, Mayor came out and gave us a good update, and I appreciate that you're doing that. One of the things that I've heard you say many times was you want transparency in this government, in this administration, and I believe that that's going to help alleviate a lot of what goes on in the city. You know, there's some things that we can't talk about, some lawsuits that are going on, but you know, those things are things that we as a city need to work as well. So I appreciate that you're going to be open and transparent, and that you know, someone like me can come and bring forward what's on my mind. So I also want to thank all the teachers and the leaders that are raising these great leaders that are coming from our youth. You know, the young one who said that he didn't know he could talk in public, and here he is talking to mayor and vice mayor and the council. So those are great to see. And our many business leaders, young business leaders that want to come up, become the Elon Musks of their generation. And I just hope that we can encourage them. I hope that Mayor, as you came up here and gave them that speech, that we can let them know that we're going to be behind them, that this council is going to think of their generation, of the decisions that are being made today is going to improve their lives, you know, and that what we do here, what we do as a community as well, is because of them and their future. And I just greatly appreciate that, you know, from you, Mayor, Council, Vice Mayor, and Council members. So I just hope that I can encourage my fellow Surpriseians to get engaged. I know you can't come out to every single meeting or come out to every single session that's out there, but at least once in a while, come before this council. Let them know what's on your mind. Let them know what you want to see in the future and how important living here in this city is to you, is to us. And I just want to thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members for allowing me this time. And I just can't wait for the future of our city.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody else that requested to speak?
No, sir, nobody else.
Okay. Council members, do you have any other business or future agenda items?
I'd like to add an item, Mayor.
Please.
So I'd like to see the city manager bring back to council some sort of ordinance and work with police on this, some sort of ordinance to deal with people who abuse city services to harass or bully their neighbors. We have a couple in my district a couple different people in my district who like to call the police non-emergency line anonymously for every little perceived slight that happens to them. And this has been going on for years and years, at least 6 that I've been aware of. The end result is these neighbors live in absolute terror of this one neighbor. He'll go as far as to call department heads to complain about people. And I've seen cases where they'll call the water department and have the water guys come out and harass them about their water usage every single week when it goes off, calling code enforcement. And so we don't have anything to stop people from abusing the 911 or abusing the police services. And we're wasting police time doing this. And there's one neighborhood in particular that's just been absolutely terrorized by one guy. And so I want to see some sort of ordinance in place to help these neighbors live a normal life and not live in terror of one person who's slightly off. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Any other future agenda items? All right, we'll do the council reports. We'll start with District 1.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. I had my community meeting, and I want to thank everyone that was able to attend. This one was down south, so for those of you just tuning in, I try to alternate my meetings each month from either a southern location or a northern location, just so I can maximize the amount of people that are attending. This is our first meeting that we actually held during the day. I'm a night owl, but again, just trying to see how we can maximize the amount of people that are able to attend. I'm a firm believer government should come to you, and so that's what we're trying to do, and I appreciate everyone that came. Special shout out to Chief Pena and Chief Spurlong. They gave a great presentation on just how we're being proactive in the city with, obviously we're rapidly growing, my district's rapidly growing, and they kind of explained the steps that they're taking to make sure that we're keeping our communities safe here in our city. So I really appreciated their time. My next community meeting will be February 27th up at Asante. That'll be in the evening again. We have a lot of exciting things that we'll be sharing with those of you up there. So I look forward to seeing all of you there. And then if you haven't subscribed to my District 1 text alerts, I know everyone in here has, we just launched Tools for Teachers, which each month I'll be randomly selecting a teacher who teaches in District 1 to receive some donation of some classroom supplies that they need. So I've been positively impacted by so many teachers, many of which still live in our community. And so I'm hoping this will help us kind of give back because they're really the unsung heroes in our classrooms. And so if you haven't nominated a teacher, please go on and do that. If you don't follow me on social media, I would do that because there's a link there for you to nominate. And with that, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. District 2?
I will be having 2 district meetings this week. One is tomorrow tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, 10 a.m. at the Grand. And one on Friday at 11:30. The subject will be personal cybersecurity, protecting your assets in a digital world. Because we do have a lot of seniors in District 2, and we are aware of several cases where people have been taken advantage of by scammers, and we're just trying to make them aware of what to do and what not to do. The IT department's going to be having some people out there who are going to be talking about all sorts of interesting ways to, basically safe surf We've just had too many bad stories of people that we've have lost a lot of money, and then my parents almost became one of them. And there's a lot of safeguards that can be put in place that they might not know about. So that's what we're going to be doing this week.
All right, thank you. District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. So we had a well-attended meet and greet last week, and it was different because we changed the location. So real quick, I just need to thank Kendra and Travis for allowing us to use the stadium and having it open. I know it was kind of a pain. I felt kind of bad. There was a guy there to open the gate for us. And he had to stand there the whole time and then kick us off the grass. Sorry, Travis. But it was good that we're kind of moving around different places. And I think everybody seemed to like that. So we'll do it next month. Next month will be at the new fire station 309. I got permission. Even if he denies it now, he gave it to me earlier, so it's on. So we'll do it there. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. District 4.
Thank you, Mayor. So this over the weekend, I have the Coyote Lakes HOA had their annual meeting. I got to attend that. This is following a garbage truck fire that occurred there in the Yucca Court of Coyote Lakes. It's a pretty serious fire. No one was injured, thank God. But there was some property damage, and really grateful to Public Works and Transportation. Kristen, Eric, thank you guys. Just the response to the community, to the owners of the nearby properties has been great. And to make, the city is going to make everybody whole. And these things happen. And there's a freak thing happens, that a system failure that creates a fire like this. But the city responded well. And I really appreciate Transportation and Public Works for your reaction there. So that was a good meeting. People were happy there in Coyote Lakes, and so my next meeting will be I'll come one in Sun Village next week, and then tomorrow night at OTS. So I get to get all over the city. It's fun.
All right, District 5.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to echo what Councilman Judd and Duffy said on, we had a great meet and greet at the Surprise Stadium. Seems like the theme we're following now is we're going to try to have it at a different spot every time, fire station next time. And then maybe I heard a rumor about the new pool eventually. So that would be pretty neat just to visit, areas and Surprise that if you haven't made it out to, you're experiencing something new every time you go. Other than that, looking forward to continuing the retreat. If you missed out before we did this, we were in the community room doing a retreat on forming our strategic plan. The council, the mayor and council, we have a council manager form of government where, contrary to popular belief, the mayor, the city council are not day-to-day managers of the city. We hire a city manager, and so and he kind of serves as the CEO of the city. So we form a strategic plan based on the input that you give us. So we hear at the doors when we're door knocking, when we're campaigning, things that you tell us in meet and greets. That stuff makes it into the strategic plan, so that the city manager can then build his idea of how he's going to meet those goals and pass it down to staff. So I believe we're continuing it next month, or this coming Monday at, was it 4:30 again?
It is.
I think 4:30. So feel free to stop by. Thank you.
District 6.
Thank you, Mayor. So real quick, I just the White Tank Mountains Conservancy has been doing a lot of work to protect the mountain and the area around the mountain, and they had a Diamond in the Desert fundraiser last week, and I was really happy to see that it was well attended. It was well attended by people from Surprise, people coming out to support the mountain, support the mission, and just continue to protect that open space and the corridors that lead up to it. So thank you very much. And then one other thing, and I hate to do this, but I gotta give a shout out to Duffy. The one and only time. He had a good idea, and he ran with it. and that is having us meet at the stadium, but not just meet at the stadium, but he's put together a schedule to move us around different parts of the city and host our community meet and greet, which is more engaging for the residents. And so fantastic job, Duffy. Thank you.
It is. Yeah. All right. Well, I it's my first month in office. It's been really just incredible. The amount of support from residents, getting out there engaging. I can go through the list of places that I've been and engagements that we've done, but it's just been incredible. I think the staff, Bob, your entire staff has just been amazing, supporting me, supporting the council, working through the strategic plan. The other council members got invited to your meet and greets. The other one, like Councilman Greenberg, Melton, and Haney, I'd love to go to yours if you want, if you'll have me. But it's just been an incredible month. You know, you run for office, you don't know what it's exactly going to be like, but I don't think that, I tell people I feel like I'm the luckiest person in Surprise because it's just an incredible city to be in, and to be the voice of that is just a huge honor. So I appreciate everybody. And with that, I will entertain a motion.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're adjourned.
Now there's a new way to connect with the City of Surprise with the My Surprise app. Help us locate and report city-maintained